This is how I've been editing all my videos on my iPad. I'm currently using the iPad Pro M5 paired with the ESR Keyboard Case. For the most parts, I'm often using it at my iPad desk setup. I previously made a video on how I made a desk setup powered solely by the iPad. But when I'm on the go, I often switch to this keyboard case for editing my videos. Alright, so this is how a typical video timeline of mine looks like. On the first layer, I often have my A-rolls, that is the talking head shot that you are seeing right now. And on layer 2, it's generally the B-rolls, like all the overhead shots and other stuff that I add into my videos. So since I'm running a tech channel, it's mostly product shots for me. So for this one, I was actually editing a MacBook Neo video of mine. So as you can see, all the B-rolls of the MacBook Neo and stuff like that, and also some footage from the Apple keynote video is right here. And once that step is done, I move to the text and transitions and all those stuff. So this is what it is, but I'll show you exactly what I do step by step right now. So I'm Prithviraj, and this is how I exactly edit my videos on my iPad Pro. Alright, let me quickly create a new project. I also created a beginner's guide to DaVinci Resolve before, so in case you are new into that, you can check that video out. But once I create that, I have to import a folder like this one contains all the things I need. So as you might have guessed it, first things I need to import is my A-roll and the audio, of course. So I simply import that from my gallery. And for me, this is the most easy step, that is syncing my video with the audio. So I can just import both of them into the timeline, just like this. And DaVinci Resolve allows you to auto sync both your video and the audio together. So for that, I have to select all three footage like this, then right click on it. Then I simply have to select this option called auto align clips and sync it using that. And as you see, it was that easy to sync my video with the audio. So I can just delete the original audio layer from there. And of course, the next step is like clipping my video. And that process is also very easy. Let me show you. And after the new iPad OS update, the menu bar is gonna come in super handy for this process. So in the menu bar, we have this option called clip. And from there will be this option called audio operations. And I can just select this option and it will delete all the dead spaces out there in my video, that is. Like all the moments where I was quiet, I wasn't speaking anything. So I can just simply adjust the parameters like this one. We just need to find a sweet spot here, like it shouldn't clip out my actual audio as well. Just click on remove and it will take a while and it will remove all the silence parts out there. So as you can see, it has done it. So my process has basically sped up a lot over here. So now I don't have to create cuts myself. The cuts are already made. So I can just select the footage I need and just delete the ones I don't need. Delete, this one is there, and simply keep on doing this. And the best way to increase your editing speed is of course by using a lot of keyboard shortcuts, and we can do that straight from here. So this is how it works. So for example, I like this clip, it's gonna stay there, and then I may be fumbled up over here. So I can simply press W on my keyboard and it will get rid of that, and also it will bring the next clip forward as you just saw. So this thing kind of speeds up my workflow very much. So I just have to keep pressing W. That's what I've assigned it, and I can just keep deleting parts that I don't need, and it will merge them constantly as you can see. So let me just quickly clip the footage so that we have some usable talking shots to use from. So for this video purpose, I have only edited the intro of this video so that it's easier for me to demonstrate it. So once that is done, I come to the next step, and that is adding the B-rolls that we have. So I often like to stay organized, so I can create a new folder called B-rolls, and then I can simply import that from my files app. You can even connect your external drives if you want to, but since I already have that on my iPad, so I have now imported all my B-rolls on this folder. And as you can see, the color of my video is like very desaturated, and that is because I often shoot in log, which is basically a flat profile, so we have more options while color grading. So as you can see, this is how my original footage looks like, but after editing, this is how it looks like. So we'll come to that step as well. And in case you're wondering, I'm using the Sony FX3 for the most parts, and I often add some iPhone footage here and there as well. So you don't really need to have the best camera to do this one. Alright, coming back to the edit. Now we have the A-rolls cut straight away. Now simply depending on what I'm talking about, I will just add the B-rolls. For example, over here I'm talking about the laptop itself. So I'll just simply find a shot of the laptop. This one was great, like the overhead view. And keyboard shortcuts are very important. So I can simply press I and O on my keyboard, select markers like this, and just drag and drop it. That was that easy. I can simply place it. Also, to make my videos interesting, I often add shots of myself using that because people like that stuff. And I often try to add that in the intro segment itself. So here is a shot of me working on the MacBook Neo. So I'm just gonna import that part as well. So the goal of the edit is to build a story while showcasing everything that you're saying. So that is how we are progressing with this one. So once again, I'll just quickly place all the B-rolls that I have and then continue that from there. So once I'm happy with the B-roll placement and stuff, I can move to the next segment, and that is adding text layers. So for example, let's come to the Fusion page. I can press Ctrl F on my keyboard and it opens up. So if you're using DaVinci Resolve standalone on your iPad without any keyboard, so you can't really access the edit page and Fusion page and stuff like that because it's kind of hidden behind this thing. I don't know why they have done that. So the best way to use DaVinci is of course with a keyboard. You can use a keyboard case like me, or just any external keyboard will work. So now I can simply come to this part called titles. I often use this one, like text plus. This works out well for me. But if you want like subtitle style text and all, you have that also. So for example, let's use this left lower third for this case. So I can now focus on stylizing this part. For example, let's write MacBook Neo over here, 599 $599, the $599 MacBook Neo to be precise. And now I can simply place that properly. I don't know why there is paste here, but anyways, that might be a glitch because I'm on the iPadOS 27 beta. So I can just resize this one real quickly and place it where I want. Maybe in the top half will look well, in the top right segment basically. Now let me show you the step where I often obsess over the most, and that is color grading my videos. So DaVinci Resolve has this node-based workflow. Nodes are basically like layers, so you're adding a layer on top of each other, and in every layer you can make certain changes, like you can adjust color in one, the shadows in one, add sharpness in another, and something like that. But since this is a log footage, firstly I need a conversion LUT that will like change the format from log to the default Rec 709, which is the basic video format that we have. Yeah, I know, color grading is tough. You need a bit of color science behind it. So I can just import a conversion LUT. So firstly, let's add a new node, and this one has to be at the end. So we'll be keeping it like that. So there will be this option called color space transform. I can simply drag drop on top of it. So this thing really makes my life easy. So in the input color space, I can select the format I recorded in. If I shot an iPhone, I often choose Apple Log 2. But since I recorded using the Sony camera, so I can select this one, Sony Cameo 3. Same for the input gamma as well. And from here, I can select S Log 3. For output, you can keep it at use timeline, but I often like to specify, which will be Rec 709 for my case. So as you can see, just by doing this one, the footage now has like natural looking colors. So since it now looks like a natural footage, it's like way easier for me to color that. So what I'd like to do is keep my videos look more contrasty. So I often increase the contrast and also play with the curves so that I get that rich contrast look. I can just turn this off real quickly. I really like this look of mine, so I keep it like that. And then I can focus on stuff like my face and adjust my skin tone and stuff like that. So I can obviously create something like a mask over here. And from there, I select my face only. And now I can slightly increase the sharpness of my face so that it's like looks in more focus. So in case my camera went out of focus, it will still look somewhat better than before. And I often use some external plugins to like smoothen out my face a bit, but that is not there on the iPad, and that's a major limitation, which is there on the MacBook of course, but on the iPad, nah, not there. So I often have to like manually do stuff, like go to the color and select everything I need, and from there adjust things accordingly, which is basically by adjusting the hue slider and stuff like that. So if you have ever used Lightroom, then this thing might be a bit familiar for you. And at the second last note, because the last note is for the color corrector thing, I often like to adjust the saturation and stuff, like how much I need, how less I need from there. So just like this one, I'll often color grade my B-rolls as well, like what all I need to do. Same thing again, I'll just add the color space transform. I can just copy it from here. It is the middle mouse click for me. Now again, I need to adjust the parameters like the lighting and the color and stuff like that. And once I'm done, I can simply paste it to the other B-rolls of mine, like this one. For example, I want to color this one, so I have it selected. So I can simply copy the color from here and paste it over here. It's that easy. And after that, I can adjust the shadows and stuff to match the lighting. So again, Command V and paste it. There we have it. And keep pasting this for all the B-rolls that we have. And same for the A-rolls. I often create groups, but for this one, I'm just gonna quickly paste all of them because we don't have much footage over here. So that was the editing process. But more than that, what matters is how you present everything. Like it should have a story kind of thing. That thing mostly comes down to the scripting stage. Like when I'm writing the script, I have my edit in mind, like what all I want to. I often create a checklist kind of thing, like what kind of shots needs to be added at what point. So that kind of helps me pre-plan everything for the edit. So the planning stage is the most important part for me because my half of the video is written over there itself. So there we have it. This is how I basically edit my videos, as in what my exact approach is to edit my videos, because more than editing itself, your approach is the one that makes how well your video performs. Of course, the topic also, but yeah, that thing matters. So anyways, hope you found this short walkthrough helpful for like getting an idea like how I do stuff. But if you'd like to see how I made a desk setup only using the iPad Pro M5, then click here on this video, and over there I've shared my entire experience of using the iPad as my primary computer, along with all the gear that I'm currently using along with it. See you there.